as a continent has now defined ourselves.
This is TOS News Track on TOS TV, your digital first Pan-African network. I am Adesuwa Osui. These are the stories we are tracking at this time. We start with stories from Nigeria. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, said on Thursday in Abuja, the nation's capital, that migration is a natural phenomenon that cannot be stopped. She, however, added that managed migration must be encouraged for positive impact on the migrant, the country of origin, and the host country. Dabiri-Erewa stated this at a lecture she delivered on migration, diaspora, and Africa's development at the National Defense College for participants of Course 29 in Abuja. She further stated that Nigeria is now experiencing the feminism of migration, a situation where more women are getting involved than men in labor migration. The NIDCAM boss stated that key drivers of migration include security, economic, environmental, socio-political, and other pull and push factors. In 2019 alone, Nigerians in the diaspora remitted about $25 billion to shore up the economy. She added that the Commission is ready to act as a bridge between Nigeria and its diasporas to harness their abundant human capital, skills, and talents to build a formidable nation. The federal government of Nigeria on Thursday commenced the disbursement of 20,000 naira cash grant to 5,000 poorest and most vulnerable women across the 6 area councils in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Umar Farouk, at the inauguration ceremony in Abuja, said that the exercise was in fulfillment of the federal government's cash grant for rural women program. The minister said, and I quote, "The grant is expected to increase the income and productive assets of target beneficiaries. It is our hope that the beneficiaries of this program will make good use of the grants to generally contribute towards improving their living standard." The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that women, including those with disabilities from the 6 area councils of the FCT, benefited from the grant. Alafi of Oyo, which is the monarch of Oyo State in southwest Nigeria, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, on Thursday alerted President Muhammadu Buhari to growing feeling of frustration, disappointment, and dependency among Yoruba people caused by outrageous activities of Fulani herdsmen, bandits, and kidnappers, which, if not immediately addressed, could lead to other serious national catastrophes and security challenges. The revered monarch, in an open letter to Buhari, lamented the security situation in the country, especially in the southwest geopolitical zone, as well as the Yoruba-speaking areas of Kwara, Kogi, and Edo states. He blames the situation on incessant menace of Fulani herdsmen who have laid siege to almost all highways in Yoruba land. The monarch alleged perpetration of all forms of assault on Yoruba people, including raping of the women, and in some occasions in the presence of their husbands. Worse still is the confidence with which they demand ransoms and collect such illegal levies at designated spots without any security personnel being able to lay siege to such spots, as was the practice in the recent past. He said, Oba Adeyemi said, in the face of the apparent helplessness of the security agencies, President Buhari should answer the question on the lips of most Nigerians: where do we go from here? You're watching News Track on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS TV. Up next, stories from across Africa. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. The Central African Republic has declared a 15-day state of emergency throughout the country as a coalition of armed groups seeks to overthrow re-elected President Faustin Touadera. The spokesperson for the presidency of the Central African Republic, Albert Yaloke Mokpeme, made the announcement Thursday on national radio. He said the state of emergency was applicable throughout the country for a period of 15 days from midnight, January 21, until February 4. The measures comes as an alliance of 6 armed groups who carried out sporadic attacks in towns far from the capital and on the RN3 highway, the crucial supply line linking Bangui with neighboring Cameroon. President Achanja Touadera was re-elected in a contentious vote in December 27, 2020, and was repelled by the opposition and several armed groups. The UN envoy to the Central African Republic, Mankeur Ndiaye, on Thursday called to the Security Council for a substantial increase in the number of peacekeepers deployed in the country after recent deadly attacks by armed groups. The increase must be accompanied by greater mobility in a very large country, added the UN representative. Ndiaye also deplored what he called a huge dissertation since December of Central African Security Forces, which requires reforms. The authorities of Sierra Leone have announced a new lockdown of the capital, Freetown, and a night curfew throughout the country to counter the exponential increase of COVID cases in the country. These measures, like others made public Thursday, come into effect from Monday, for 2 weeks initially, said in a statement from the Government Center for Response to COVID-19. Freetown has recorded more than half of the cases of contamination in the country. The authorities decided to restrict entry and exit from the western area, the territory corresponding to Freetown and its surroundings. Travel outside Freetown, considered essential, is subject to a negative COVID test within 72 hours. An electronic pass will be introduced to regulate essential movement, the center said. It will also be accessible through a mobile application. A curfew will be re-established throughout the country from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. local time. You are watching your digital-first Pan-African news network, TOS TV. Still ahead, business and sports. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has announced his approval of 6.45 billion naira for the setup of 38 oxygen production plants across the country in a bid to contain the second wave of COVID-19. The president disclosed this in a statement on Thursday evening after the first National Economic Council meeting of the year, presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, with state governors, Federal Capital Territory Minister, Central Bank Governor, and other senior government officials in attendance. As part of efforts, to contain the second wave of COVID-19, we're setting up new oxygen production plants in 38 locations across Nigeria to enhance the management of patients in need of oxygen. I have equally approved funding for the rehabilitation of oxygen plants in 5 hospitals, Buhari said. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, said the president said the funds release was necessitated by the rising cases of COVID-19 in the country, with patients needing oxygen. And now to sports. The Group B match went down at the Palma Stadium in Douala on Thursday when the Leopards of the Democratic Republic of Congo met the Libya Mediterranean Knights in a game that ended in a 1-1 draw. DR Congo suffered a series of pre-match blows when coach Florence Ibenge and some players tested positive for coronavirus after playing a goalless draw against Niger in their opening Group B match on Sunday. The Mediterranean Knights of Libya still maintained the flow when they drew a goal each with the Red Devils of the Republic of Congo. DR Congo now leads Group B with 4 points. Nigeria and Libya share 2 points each, and Republic of Congo secured 1 point. Friday matches will feature Group C matches where the leaders Morocco will face Rwanda and later Uganda, Cranes to meet Togo. A win for Morocco will secure a direct ticket to the quarter-finals. Japan has denied a report that there is an agreement among officials that the Tokyo Olympics, which have already been delayed for a year, are doomed because of the still raging coronavirus pandemic and that the event will have to be cancelled. The report in The Times, a British newspaper, said officials were scrambling to find face-saving way to announce their decision. In response, Japan's Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary Manabu Sakai said there was no truth to the report, and Games organizers said all event partners, including the Japanese government and the International Olympic Committee, were fully focused on hosting the Games this summer. With just over 6 months to go until the already postponed Olympics are due to start, doubts have grown about whether the mammoth international event will be viable, with the pandemic still increasing worldwide and with vaccinations still lagging behind. The pandemic has already dampened public support of the Games, which was originally scheduled last year. Polls show that as many as 80% of people do not want the event to proceed. But Olympic officials and the Japanese organizers continue to press ahead with preparations for the Games scheduled to open on July 23rd. On Thursday, the Japanese government announced it will spend $3.7 billion on the Games. And that is TOS News Track on your digital-first Pan-African network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. TOS TV is also available on TS TV as TOS News on channel 138. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS TV Network. I am Adesuwa Osuyi. Bye for now.